Today we will have focus on Shadbala with primordially talking about Cheshtabala, which is dependent on the retrogression and Astangatva or the combustion. Okay. Because we have covered Dagdha Rashis, I believe, in this class, in this English series also. Dagdha Rashis would mean combustion. So the general combustion, as in Astangatva, we are calling it either as Asta or Astangatva. That's the right way of calling it. Okay. So we'll have focus on the Shadbala of the planets, and the Shadbala of the planets has 6 types of Bala. We'll come from the bottom, wherein Naisargika Bala is the first. Then is the Drig Bala, Cheshta Bala, Dig Bala, Kala Bala, Sthan Bala. Okay, these are the balas, of which I think we'll cover 3 or 4 balas today, depending on the time. And the other two, the Kala and the Sthana, we'll cover in the next class. We'll pick up 1 or 2 examples today, and because we haven't been doing examples for quite some time. So we'll pick 1 or 2 examples. Okay. So Naisargika Bala. See, Naisargika Bala is a constant Bala. Okay. If you're looking at the Jagannath Hora, or for that matter, any of the software, go to the strengths, and you can see here in the Jagannath Hora, you will have the Shadbala breakup. Okay. The Shadbala breakup in the strengths, other strengths, go to the Shadbala breakup. You have Sthanabala, Kalabala, Digbala, Cheshtabala, Drigbala, and Naisargika Bala. This Naisargika Bala is constant in all the charts. It is not going to change. It will remain a same number. Okay. The derivation of that number is very simple. So what does it mean is, what is the natural strength of the planets? Depending on the distance from the sun and the amount of light the planet can radiate back onto the earth. Okay. It depends on 2 things. So one is the distance from the sun. Second is the kind of environment that is present on the planet, so that it reflects a lot more heat. For example, Mercury is a closer planet to the sun, but Venus actually radiates more heat. Even the modern science has also proved it. Okay. So depending on that, the brightness that we can see in the sky, our rishis, when they were looking into the sky at night, whenever the planets appear, the kind of brightness the planets displayed, based on which this is what my assumption is, the Naisargika Bala is assigned. The other way of looking at it is, the Naisargika Bala of the planets of the tamas nature, like the Mars and the Saturn, are tamasic in nature. They are less powerful, or they need less strength so as to give you the result. Whereas the Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Moon, Sun, these are generally benefic, although Sun is a Krura. Okay, these planets will need higher amount of strength for them to deliver results. Okay. There will be some exceptions here and there, because Sun is naturally there, so it has got the 60 points, etc. So the understanding is, 60 points is considered as 100 points. Cent% is considered in olden days as 60. The reason is, the total circle is 360 degrees. And 60 is a easier number for us to understand a circle, rather than dividing it into 100 numbers. Only for convenience, it is called as 60. And the Kala is always measured using 60s. In olden days, we had Ghati and Vighati. These are the 2 numbers. The day is divided into 60 Ghatis, and then further divided into 60 Vighatis. Okay. If a further division was required, they will further divide it into 60. Okay. So the modern numbering says, modern division says 24 hours and then you have 60 minutes. Okay. They have retained that number of 60, but they have kept the higher number, the top number as 24. Right. In one point in time, it was 60 as well for the hours. Okay. So 60 would mean a complete number. Now you see, there are 7 planets. Divide this 60 by 7. 60 by 7 will give you 8.57. Okay. Just double this up, you get 17.5 or 17.14. You multiply this 8.57 into 3, you get 25.7. You multiply 8.57 with 4, you get 34.28. And then with 5, you get 42.85. Then with 6, you get 51.43. Then with 7, you get 60. This means the amount of light that will reach the earth. Okay. That is the Naisargika Bala. Okay. This is a constant always added every time to the Shadbala. Okay. Today we will focus on the reasoning behind the balas. Maybe sometime in the future we will have a bigger discussion on what each bala will be used for. But even if you try to understand also here and there, you will know why each bala is used for, etc. Wherever it is very required, like the chest bala or the dig bala, etc., I will definitely delve more into the thing. Then is the Drik Bala. Drik means Drishti. Drishti means something that is being seen by. So each planet is seen by other planets. We all know that. Any planet that is in the seventh house is watched by the other planet, right? Besides this, we also know that Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars have Vishesha Drishtis. Vishesha means something which other than the seventh house, wherein the Saturn is 3 and 10 houses. The Jupiter watches the 5 and the 9 houses. We've talked about this in the planets, right? We all know about that. Similarly, Mars has 4 and 8 houses. If the malefics are aspecting the planet, the negative bala increases. If the benefics are aspecting the planet, the positive bala increases. This is only for convenience. Okay. Most of the olden astrologers, if you remember, somebody who, when we did not have, softwares to cast the charts, people used to look at the planets and say, this particular planet is aspected by Saturn, right? This particular planet is receiving the drishti of Jupiter. Our olden people used to say this around 80s, 90s, etc. We used to listen to these words. Ever since the softwares came into existence, people started to use the numbers mostly. I would recommend don't use numbers to decide something, as in you take an absolute number wherein you're seeing, okay, there is this Sthanabala of this planet so much, there is an absolute number here. When we round this off to 127, okay, this is 127 and this is 140. So moon is more powerful than the sun based on the number. Don't go anything by the number. Okay, if you're using numbers, use the rationale behind it, because each bala will work separately. Total Shadbala is a different concept. Most of the times, total Shadbala will not be useful. You need to know what is the Sthan Bala, what is the Kal Bala, what is the Dig Bala, what is the Cheshta Bala, Drik Bala, Naisargika Bala. These are separately useful. Okay. Do not add up all this. Anyway, I mean, we will anyway add up all this and try to see what is the total Shadbala. This is how people will look at. But by looking at this, you will be misguided, because sometimes you need Cheshtabala at a place. There you don't have the Cheshtabala of it, but the number of the Shadbala can be very high. So you'll be misguided. So don't go by just the numbers. Have the logic in place. Or whenever you're looking at the Drikbala, especially the Drikbala, a lot of people will be worried, having seen, see, look at Jupiter, it is receiving minus 43. So it will give a bad result. It is not going to work on the numbers. Okay. Sometimes a planet has to receive a bad aspect for let us suppose you want to be strict in this world. What does Guru promote? What does the Panchamaha Yoga Guru is promoting? He is promoting the Hamsa Yoga. What is Hansa Yoga? You know Paramahamsa, right? Paramahamsa is who doesn't bother much about the world. He sits and he constantly prays. In the world of Kali Yuga, if you're doing like that, things are going to happen for you. No, right? You're an aspiring person, right? You want to gain a promotion in the next year. You do not want to leave the world, right? You do not want to lose money. Then you need malefic aspects to people like Jupiter or Moon. People are teaching this in different ways in different so, in classes. Like if you go to lunar astro, Dipanshuguri says Jupiter needs sometimes bad aspects. Okay, so don't get carried away by these numbers, thinking, oh, there is a negative number here, so you are going to get a negative result. Similarly, a lot of people use this Dashavargas, these numbers. Somebody uses Vimshopakabala and has 0, 1 counting, and with that they will do. Somebody is using Ashtakavarga points. Oh, I've got only 10 points in this house, 15 points in the other house, so there is a problem. Don't go by numbers. This is not a number game, astrology. You need to know what is strong and what is weak. Based on that, you have to do. Sometimes a weaker house is very important. Okay, so that it will stop you from doing some karma. Okay, that is also there. So don't get carried away by the numbers. Be clear on this. Discourage people who are using absolute numbers to define something. If absolute numbers had defined something, it is very easy in today's world. If somebody could write such a good software to get all the numbers, they could have straight away written the result also here. Okay, it will take less than 1 minute. You ask any of those people who are doing coding, it will take less than a minute to write some result here, had it been so easy. Okay, it won't work like that. You have to be very, very clear about this. Okay, right. So, aspects of Saturn, Mars, Sun, Krishna Paksha moon, that is the waning moon, and the Mercury, which is associated with malefics. See, Mercury is a planet which depends on the association. It's a child. So when the child falls into the hands of wrong people, he would inculcate all bad habits. Some child falling into a hand of a Vaishnavite from the early age, he would follow all the Vaishnavite dharmas, right? So depending on what the association of the Mercury is, decide whether the Mercury is malefic or benefic. But don't think malefic planets will give malefic results, benefic planets will give benefic results. This is a very rudimentary way of understanding things. Sometimes, if life has to be stricter, if life has to be more disciplined, then you actually need both the planets. Had the planets Mars and Saturn are only going to create havoc, the Paramatma is a very soft person. Paramatma is a sacred person. He wants life on the planet to continue and flourish. If Mars and Saturn were completely bad planets, he would have completely avoided creating those planets. Okay, so don't think malefic planets will give you malefic results. Basic principle, yes, that's very right. However, in reality, what is malefic and what is benefic are a little different. We don't belong to the Satya Yuga right now. Kali Yuga is working. You have to be greedy sometimes because see, you have to go to an interview, you have to win the interview, get your interview selected, you have to go and work, you have to compete with people. These are all greedy things. Satya Yuga, it is not allowed. You cannot compete with people. Competing is considered like a war, right? Uttarashada activation is considered a bad thing. Today, you have to compete for everything in this world. In the class, you should be competing to stand first. In the interview, you should stand first to win a job. In the office, you should stand first to get a promotion, right? These are all things that are possible only by malefic planets. Benefits cannot give you, they will teach you all sattva, right? Refraining from everything. This will what you will learn. If you are a 70-year-old person, yes, refraining from everything, retracting from all the worldly things, it's a very good thing. But if you are a 30-year-old boy and you have just got married, you have got a wife alongside you, you may have a kid tomorrow, you have to win in this world. Otherwise, people will say, look, why have you got married? Right? So keep these things in mind. Don't get carried away with the negative numbers or the zero numbers sometimes that you will see. They are sometimes useful. Okay. Do not stereotype, as I keep saying. Okay. Astangatva. And the idea of today's class is based on Astangatva and retrogression. These are the two things I want to talk about mostly. So for the next 15-20 minutes, we'll talk about it. I have put this on the image. It will be more clear for you to understand. See, let us suppose I've taken one planet here, Jupiter. Okay. Jupiter will travel for one, in one Rashi, Jupiter travels for 1 year. This is the average speed of Jupiter. Every time Jupiter enters a new Rashi, we get Pushkara, right? So that means the rivers that we have in India, they are celebrating there is a Kumbh Mela done for that river, right? It happens for every river. A lot of people know only about the Ganga or the Godavari, but it happens for every river, right? So the Kumbh Mela thing. Then, if Jupiter is traveling at a very slow speed, Earth will take to complete one revolution around the sun, it will take 1 year, right? At the same time, Jupiter will take 1 year to travel into only one Rashi. If you're dividing this whole circle into 12 parts, this whole circle, Jupiter will take 12 years approximately. Earth is taking approximately 12 months. Similarly, if you replace this planet with Saturn, you know Saturn will take 2.5 years. These are the external planets. There is also Mars. Mars has no fixed path or the fixed time. It will take above and below 1.5 year, 2 years, 1 year, 9 months. Sometimes it is very fast, sometimes it is very slow because Mars is just the next planet from us, right? So for the ease and convenience, I've picked up Jupiter here. You can replace each planet once you have understood this concept. The concept is, look at our rishis. What were our rishis doing? When our rishis were there, the rishis were always focused on what is happening in the space. At night, they will always look at the sky and these constellations are visible, right? This is the day when the earth revolves the other side. Let us suppose this is America right now and we are in the day, assuming, okay, we are on this side and this is America, and on the darker side the stars and the constellations are visible. Because at night, if you sleep outside and if you look at the sky, you can see the constellations, right? People used to plot where is Ashwini, where is Bharani, etc. If they were visible. On the one side, it will be visible. The other side, they will not be visible. Based on that, only they have understood that, okay, Earth is taking 360 days for it to revolve, and it is taking, we are getting an Adhika Masa based on the lunar months. It is an Adhika Masa we are getting. For every 2.5 years, we get one Adhika Masa. For people who are following the Delhi Panchang or the Varanasi thing, they don't have the Adhika Masa because they're following the solar calendar. Wherever the lunar calendar is followed, we get the Adhika Masa, right? So as to match that 5 day difference into 2.5 years, and we get another month additionally. Okay, that will exactly match today's calculations of 364, 1/4 day, all that stuff, right? We get a leap year and all that. It will exactly match that. Okay, and our day's length is exactly not the same every time. So our tithis are very differently calculated. It is more scientific, but for convenience, the English system is better, right? So the thing is, when they are observing this universe at night, they will see all these constellations because there is no sunlight on this side of the earth, right? Because on this side of the earth, the sunlight is there. And at night, every day the planet Earth is also rotating like this. It's constantly rotating. When it is rotating, for every 12 hours, we get the night. For every 24 hours, we get the night, and we would be able to see the stars. When they are seeing the stars, they'll see the planets, right? So if a planet is not visible, okay, the planets were when it was not visible in the sky. In today's world, we cannot see planets for the only reason I think somebody has shot a planet Jupiter yesterday or day before. I don't know when it is the thing, or even it is an AI thing. I don't know, but somebody has shown that behind Burj Khalifa, the Jupiter was transiting. I don't know if it's AI or if it's a real video, but I could see that. But in today's world, we can't see them very well because of the pollution that we have done. If we go into into forests, etc., you will see a lot of stars. Today, stars are also not visible because of the pollution, right? The smog, the fog, etc., and also the pollution that we are doing with the vehicular pollution. We can't see the stars even. Forget planets. So now when the rishis were watching these planets, they could see that at one point in time, Jupiter went invisible. Okay, so they understood it went behind the sun. Okay, so this is Astangatva, when the Jupiter or the Saturn or something that goes behind the sun. Okay, if you're observing from here at the night, you cannot see Jupiter anymore, right? When if you have Jupiter here, maybe when you observe it from here, you can still see the Jupiter on the right side or on the left side. Then they will see which constellation is this and try to see, okay, this is the particular constellation Jupiter is in. So they will daily pick up a notes, write down how much of time is Jupiter taking for it to make a complete revolution. This used to continue for hundreds of years, and they have come to a conclusion saying, okay, Jupiter is working like this, Saturn is working like this. This is called as Astangatva when it goes behind. Asta means what? Something that has set, right? Asta means set. That's why we call as the Astamaya of the sun. Something has set. Set means it has gone to the other side. Our people were very clear. They knew it. The Maharshis knew it very clearly that the sun is setting. That means it is going on to the other side, right? So we are a very scientifically advanced people, 3,000 4,000 years ago, but for the common people will not understand it, so they must have used common terminology for them, right? Because if you try to make them aware that sun is going into astamaya and how the whole process is working, they cannot even contemplate, right? Only few people had that understanding. So Maharshis made this word called as astangatva or the astamaya, depending on the planet, and the planet is going behind the sun. Now assume you're taking a photograph, okay, you're taking a picture from your mobile camera, and there is a light, and you have asked a person to just stand beneath the light. So your light is too much and the person's face is not visible. Same thing is here. The light of the sun is too much. That is why Jupiter cannot be seen. Then it is called as Astangatva. Okay. I will give you more analogy and more description as we move forward. Please stay tuned. Okay. I know there will be a lot of questions. Let us also understand the retrogression. Now the planet Earth has, which was there in I mean Jupiter was there in Astangatva when it is exactly on the other side. The Earth doesn't stop, right? It keeps moving. It keeps moving forward. As it keeps moving forward, at one point, let us suppose here, right? It gets, let's suppose it goes till here. The Earth comes till here. It will again be able to see the Jupiter, right? So it has come out, then it means that the Jupiter has come out of that Astangatva thing, right? This is what you have to understand. Then is, give me a second. Yeah. Then is the uh, retrogression. As the Earth is moving forward, the Jupiter is like a cycle. You're going in a train. Let us suppose you're going in a train. You look out of the window. What you will see, the electric posts, the trees are all going backwards. And you think you are not moving. And all those planets that are, all those trees or the electric posts, etc., anybody who is riding a bicycle, they are all going backwards. This is the exact effect of the retrogression. You are sitting in a faster moving planet. Jupiter is a very slow moving planet. And that is why you are seeing that the Jupiter is traveling backwards. It is only an effect for the people who are sitting here and observing it. Then it is called as retrogression. This is the concept. So when the Jupiter was completely visible in the night sky, then only retrogression happens. Okay, when the night sky experiences Jupiter, then only retrogression happens. It is as simple as that. Okay, or the peak retrogression happens. Okay, I mean, I've simplified so that you understand the concept. There will be subtle things here also. As you experience and as you move forward, those things will be automatically clear to you. Now let us understand the concept of you know the Astangatva once again. See, what results will you get when you have Astangatva, and what results will you get when you have retrogression? Some people will say Astangatva is bad. Some people will say retrogression is bad. Okay. Some people will say both are good. Some people will say one is good, the other is bad. Okay. They have their own terminology of the experience. What I am saying is use common sense. Let us not go by anybody's words. You evaluate it for yourself. First line always, the golden rule is no stereotyping. Okay, there is no stereotyping. I'll give you the concept. Now you try to imagine yourself which will give good result and which one will give you bad result. See, sun is the Atma Karaka. Everybody knows that. What is the Atma? The Atma is the soul. The soul is taking a life in cycles. So you are a soul and you get a name with the body. You get a body when you enter your mother's womb, right? When we enter the body of the mother, when we come out, we have a life. And the life does karma, right? And the soul is accumulating all the karma. The body is accumulating all the comforts and the discomforts. The body is experiencing all the comforts and the discomforts, and the soul is accumulating all the karma, right? Everybody agrees with this. Based on the karma done by this body in this life, you are going to take another body in the next life. This is what the karma siddhanta is, right? Everybody agrees with this. And sun is called as the Atmakaraka in the Jyotisha, right? So, based on that, if the planet Jupiter, for convenience, let us take Jupiter is Asta, that means it is along with the sun, right? What happens is each planet will deliver results onto you. Each planet is responsible for a result. Now Jupiter has to give you a result. Based on what principles? Jyotisha. Jyotisha. Jyoti means radiation or light, right? Jyoti means light. What is light here? What is the source of light in the solar system? There is only one source of light in the solar system, that is the sun, right? Our Maharshis knew this very well. Now, moon is the satellite or the planet for convenience. We have called all the things that are visible to our eyes as Tara Graha. Graha does not clearly translate as planet, But in English, for convenience, we are also calling moon as planet for now. Okay. So moon transfers a lot of light back onto the earth, right? Everybody knows this. After the sun, moon is actually very much visible for us from the earth. Why? Because it is transferring more light. Now, when Jupiter is visible, when it will be able to radiate light from there, right? If it is in the darkness, how will you know there is a planet there? The reason is when the Jupiter is radiating the heat, it can radiate heat. Now, Jupiter is getting the heat from the sun, and Jupiter is radiating the heat back to the sun, right? You see this example when the Astangatva happens, it cannot radiate straight the light back onto the earth because earth is behind the sun. Now, Jupiter is giving away all the light back onto the sun, and the sun gives that light also back to the earth, right? This is Astangatva. Come to retrogression. I'll simplify it further. I'm giving you the technical thing right now. I'll simplify it further, the thing. Stay tuned. Look at the retrogression thing. The sun is still delivering light onto the Jupiter, right? During the day. All that light, it is reflecting back during the night, right? So I will give you an example. You look at people of the Gujarat or the people who are Marwadi or general sales people, right? Where there is general business people, sorry, business people, where there is the father is a businessman and he is training his child to be the next businessman. Take a simple thing like a cloth business, right? They are selling garments. So the father said, "Look, son, I have to go to Bombay or maybe Delhi to do something for the next, I mean, just hypothetically, for the next 5 days. I'm making you sit here and you assume my job. You do my job of the sales to the customers. I will train you on few things. The few things are these are the type of garments that we have. These are the prices. And mind you, in India, where these kind of shops are operative, there is no fixed price there. You have to bargain well. Whoever is a good bargainer will get a better deal. That is how the shops operate. And so he trains him. Customers come like this. You have to say this price and then offer them a discount and then give away the cloth at this particular price. This is the least price you can sell it. Okay. Assuming he has 5 different cloths and he has said one cloth, the minimum price is 100, the other is 120 and so on. Maybe 200 rupees is the final thing. The father went ahead and went to somewhere. He came back after 7 days. He calls up his kid, right? Every day when he comes back, he will call up his kid. He called up his kid and asked, "What have you sold and how much have we made?" Right? So he explained the father, "Father, these are the garments that I have sold, and this is what I made." The father will say, "Look, out of the 100 transactions that you have done, the 80 transactions are good, or maybe 70 transactions are good. 30 transactions are bad for these reasons. You could have struck a better deal with these people. You could have corrected yourself here and there, and you could have made a better deal." The son would scratch his head and say, "Okay, next time I will correct myself." Okay. This will keep happening. The person is getting trained again and again whenever the father is going out of duty, right? Assume a similar scenario here. Or you can also take an example of a night watchman. Okay. A night watchman in a cricket, especially the test cricket, he's sent out just to guard and do something so that they don't lose a wicket and on the next day they can come back and play. Okay, kind of a night watchman thing is what you will see in a retrogression. So if we connect these two stories back into the results, see, if you understand Bhagavad Gita, or for that matter, any of the Karma Siddhanta, the simple thing is there is no God. The karma that you are doing is going to come back and hit you, both good and bad, right? This is the whole Siddhanta. If we see if we understand the Purva Mimamsa written by the Jaimini, okay, it says there is no God, there is only karma. Parashara wrote the Uttar Mimamsa and said there is God because somebody has to govern all this. So there has to be a body which centrally regulates, okay, what is the karma accumulated, what is the good and what is the bad, right? This is the Uttar Mimamsa thing. So anyway, after having seen that, a lot of people thought Jaimini came first and Parashara came later because the Purva is written by him and the Uttara is written by Parashara. But the reality is, Jaimini is the student of Parashara. He made a research paper submitted to Parashara. Parashara said, okay, publish this. But Parashara wrote another thing I mean, let people not fall off the thing, because if there is no God, there will be chaos in the world. God is established only for that, to stop the chaos, right? If you understand what the Karma Siddhanta very clearly, then you don't need a God, strictly speaking. So, Sun is the only planet that delivers all the results. Your Atma is the only soul thing that has to deliver all the results, because that is carrying all your karma. Correct? Theoretically, this has to be the case. But Sun takes the help of the other planets to deliver results, right? And moreover, there are three types of karma, right? Prarabdha, Sanchita, Agami, right? Everybody knows this. Of the Sanchita karma, a portion of it is the Prarabdha, right? Agami is what we are going to do in the future. So, of the Sanchita karma itself, the Prarabdha is a portion of it. Okay. This is my understanding. The understandings may differ, or depending on the school that you are taught, etc. So the understandings may differ. Let's not go by definitions. What one can understand is there is a lot of karma done by an individual. You will be allotted some karma to complete in this life. This is what the sun will carry along with it. It is going to give it to the each of the planet. I look, you are governing this area, the seventh house you are taking care. So you please deliver the seventh house karma. You please deliver the second house karma. You please deliver this karma. You please deliver that karma. I mean, the result of the karma, I mean to say, the result of those things. When the planets are in retrogression, this is the night watchman thing, right? The night watchman thing is it has the higher Cheshtabala, right? Cheshtabala means the action, right? Because action is all delivered by sun. Naturally, he is the person who has to give you everything. But because sun is not available to deliver, the Jupiter is delivering it, right? This is what you have to understand. And the default thing is Astangatva. You know why? If you understand the Big Bang Theory, look at the Big Bang Theory, or if you understand the Kashyapa and the talk that we did during the sun's class, look at the sun class that we have talked about. We've talked about a total big ball called as the Martanda. The Martanda is the big ball which carried all the planets, and from all that big mass of the boiling sun-like thing came out all the planets, right? So before all the nine planets were formed, it is a complete single sphere which contains a huge amount of heat, right? The Martanda. So default is what? There was only sun. All the planets came out of him, right? All of the planets are the children of the sun, correct? So that is how it is. So then when the sun has to deliver the results, that's the default thing. Now we'll take another story. The story is this is typically applicable for Indian context. I am not very sure how much people of the other side of the world, treat children, etc., or used to treat children during the 70s or the 80s, 1970s and 1980s. The fathers were strict. They were always disciplining the children. and the children were always afraid of the father out of respect. Okay, so if the father is around, the guy would act or pretend as if he is studying, he is not playing, he's focused on his career. Okay, I'll give you an example. When we were kids, my mom used to say only one thing: when your father comes back, I'll let him know that you have done this mischief today. Okay, we would be very terrified, we will be very afraid. I mean, in today's world it may not be so applicable, because we have given a lot of freedom to our kids, etc. We are not disciplining them anymore. We think it's okay, let us be more liberal. When, let's suppose, we broke a vase, or something in the home which costed maybe a penny. It used to be a big chaos in those days. Why did you break it? Don't you understand? It's an expensive thing, etc. Today people break a lot of stuff. I mean, the kind of wastage that we do in the home is too much. I'm not saying that's good and this is bad. I'm only trying to give you the understanding of it. So go back to 70s and 80s. The father used to discipline the children. That's why son is called as krura. Krura means, let us suppose there is an exam tomorrow and you're not studying. Your mother says, please study early, tomorrow there is an exam. You would keep playing cricket or something, come back late in the evening, and assuming you failed in the exam. Your father comes back and says, don't provide him food, there is an exam tomorrow. Till the time he completes the exam, the study for the exam, and he comes back and tells me or answers me a few questions, I'll give him a test. So as a preparation for tomorrow's exam, till the time it is not done, you ensure that he is not eating. Okay, mother, ensure that your kid is not eating. Okay, so the father is strict. Okay, when there is astangatva, or the combustion of the planet is there, the sun is going to give you a stricter result. Okay, a modified result of the planet. Okay, whereas if the planet is delivering the result, it is going to deliver the result the way it wants it. Okay, the way it wants it. Now there is another problem with the retrogression. When the way it wants it, right, assuming Jupiter wants to deliver the result the way it wants it. Come back to the story of the person who was selling clothes and who left his boy at the store and went out. When he came back and asked, so the boy will be terrified. My father will come back and ask me, how many deals have you closed and how correct, accurate, perfect were the deals? I need to explain it back to my father. So I have to be so accurate in my deal closures. I cannot commit any mistake. I cannot afford to do a mistake here. So let me be a perfectionist. This guy, the planet Jupiter or the planet Saturn or the Mars or any planet in retrogression, says that I have to give the ultra perfect result because my father is not around. I can't see him. There is no light here, right? I'm delivering the result in darkness. So this makes the planet to give results which are trying to be perfectionist person. Okay, now you will say it is good to be a perfectionist. What is wrong in here? There are certain things, like let us suppose I will give you two examples. This is what I gave in the in the Telugu class as well. I can't find a better example, so I'm just giving the same thing. It can be connected easily. So I will give you example of seventh house and the 10th house. If the seventh lord or the 10th lord are in retrogression, okay, when the 10th lord is in retrogression, right, as we have just understood, because my father will come back and keep asking me what has happened about the deals, I have to be very perfect. So I will do a job as a native now, who has got the 10th lord retrograde. What the kind of mind that the planet will give me is, the kind of ideology the planet will drive into is, I will be in a job which is perfect for me. So I will take up a job, I'll get into a job and then work there for some time. and I will start complaining that this is not the kind of job that is perfect for me. So let me resign this job, take up another job, do there. Again, there are some or the other complaints. It is still not perfect for me. Okay. I will pick up another job. I will keep changing jobs. Okay. Is this good or bad? You can't say. You know why? Because if somebody is getting an interview and somebody is getting a bigger salary and rising up in his life, it is a good thing. For old school of thought people, they will say that this man is not stable. He doesn't work at any company for more than 1 or 2 years and he keeps changing companies. Okay. So there is nothing called good or bad here. It can be applicable both the ways. The other beauty of this planet is sometimes the person may not change the job, but let us suppose his manager asked him to do a presentation. Look, I need 5 slides that you need to prepare in the PowerPoint and bring it to me and see that they are there on my table. This man is a perfectionist. For making those 5 slides, he will spend all 5 days without, eating, sleeping, without rest, because this is very important for him because his manager asked him and then gives it. The slides can actually be prepared in 5 minutes. All that he wanted was some numbers and some few photos, but he will spend all the time there trying to be very perfect. And in the next month, he will completely change the whole presentation itself. Although just the numbers were asked to be changed, he will say, look, I will improve this. I will improvise this and do all that stuff and add more information, make it more and more better for looking. Okay. The manager will be happy, but actually he's stressing himself out too much. Okay. This can also be there. When the seventh lord is retrograde, the problem with the seventh lord retrogression is, or the good thing with the seventh lord retrogression is, the result basically is, he is not satisfied with any of the alliances. I mean, in India, usually we are having arranged marriages. The parents bring the photos to the boy, and the boy chooses this girl, or the girls also will be provided photos. She will pick up the boy of her interest along with the profile. What is he doing, etc. How much is he earning, and all that will be there. And the girl or the boy will pick up. The boy will never pick up a girl. He will say, this is not right, that is not right, something is not right, this is not, I need a perfect girl. Okay. And he may end up getting a perfect girl, that will depend on the Navamsha. Okay. Because then marriage is happening or not happening will depend on the Navamsha, not based on the seventh lord is retrograde or not. Now, after marriage, also, he will keep thinking, had I waited for another 1 more year or so, I would have got a better match. Okay. This will be hovering around his mind. Will this lead to a divorce or not? Will this lead to a complete sorrow or not? Will depend on the Navamsha. It may just be there in his mind, at the back of his mind somewhere. That can also be a possible result. Okay. So, what we understand is planets in the retrogression are trying to be overly perfect because the sun will come back tomorrow and ask me, did you deliver the result? I will have to give him a report saying, look, I tried to give the best result so that my father would be happy about me. Okay. When it is in the Astangatva, the Krura thing comes up. Then the Krura thing may give you, let us suppose somebody has to do a business. Okay. And if there is a Astangatva, I'm just only, throwing. There is no fixed thing for this. The whole thing will depend on the chart. Okay. I'm just throwing an example in front of you very, very hypothetically at the very base level. Okay. Don't think this is the only result you will get. Okay. Astangatva will stop giving some results. Okay. Sometimes it may so happen that a person, if he does business, he's going to fail. You ask 80s fathers, okay, the 70s fathers and the 80s fathers, they will say, they will promote their children to do a job. They will not ask them to do a business because they think it's a risk, right? So the risk taking uh, thing will go down when you have Astangatva there. Okay. Because the father is more stricter. He needs proved paths, right? He needs a proved way of working. He cannot think out of box. Fathers are usually like that, right? They belong to the old school of thought. They are relying more on old school of thoughts, right? So Astangatva may deliver something on the old school of thought, or the guy may be interested in business, but getting into a business, he may fail. So that's why he is refrained from the business, because there is an Astangatva. Even that can be a possible result. So don't think Astangatva will give me a bad result, retrogression will give me a bad result. Don't get confused between these things. Both can give you good results, both can give you bad results. Astangatva will give you based on your karma, and Sun is the deliverer. Sun is the delivery boy. And in the case of retrogression, the planet himself will be a delivery boy. Okay, and especially in Telugu states, when the planets like Jupiter and Venus are in Astangatva, no marriages or no griha praveshas or no griharambhas. Griharambha means laying a foundation stone for your new home, or entering into a new home, getting married. All these are banned. All these are not done during the time when Astangatva is there. It is called as Maudhya. Okay, because if it is the sun will be a Krura planet. Sun is going to deliver based on your karma. So you must have done some bad thing in the past. So he may give you a bad thing. This is an assumption. Had you done a good thing, yes, good thing will also come. But if it's not Astangatva, if there is the planet is outside of the sun's race, Jupiter has beneficence and Venus has its beneficence for the Muhurta, I'm saying. So they have to give good result only for the Muhurta. That is why it is considered not based on karma, but based on the Muhurta. Not having a Astangatva or planet out of Astangatva is required. For Jataka, for the person, for native horoscopes, this may still give good results, because there was a good karma in the past of his life. Everything happens automatically for him. He doesn't have to do much. Okay. Whereas in the retrogression, the planet is trying to do a lot of things, and that is why the Cheshtabala is very high. Okay. Let's see the Cheshtabala. See here. The Cheshtabala of Jupiter right now is 58.94. The maximum Cheshtabala that can come up is 60. Okay, today's chart, this is Jupiter is in peak retrogression. You know why? Because it is exactly opposite to Sun. Okay, Sun is here and Jupiter is here. So you get 60 points. So now Jupiter is completely independent to deliver its results. It is not dependent on Sun. But Jupiter will be extra careful because Sun is not around. Okay, this is how it is. Usually what people think is the better position is anything which is not in Astangatva or not in retrogression. That means planets in the 4th, 5th houses from the sun, or 9th and 10th houses from the sun. These are better places to be for a planet to give its individual results. Because what? In that case, what happens is this in the store of the cloth store, both the son and the child are together, and the child is actually taught by the father, and he will say, okay, boy, you go there and manage that customer. I will manage this customer. When the billing happens, you come and see how I am billing and how I am negotiating. You try to show those people. Okay, so there is a distribution of work that is happening. Usually, okay, I'm not saying this is the best result. 90% of 99% of the times you have to see everything. But in usual sense, okay, very thumb level, very grassroots level sense, the rudimentary thing, something that is placed in the 4th, 5th houses or 9th, 10th houses is independent, is what you will know from the sun. In case of internal planets like the Mercury and the Venus, they cannot go such far from the sun. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn will go all through the 12 houses. Wherever the sun is, doesn't matter. They can travel into any house. But Mercury and Venus are tied to the sun. They can only go 2 houses ahead or 2 houses behind. Right? I think this is what I thought I will deliver today. Anyone has any questions or anything that you think I have missed out, please ask.
Sir, thank you, sir. One quick question. So, in general, medical astrology, retrograde planets are considered to be not very good. Like, is there any reason specifically, or is it even a valid assumption?
I mean, it's generic thing is the Cheshtabala is very high. So if the planet has to give you a bad result, then it is going to give you a severe result. It is not only medical astrology. For that matter, it can happen for any astrology. If it is for marriage astrology you are seeing, if the result has to, let us suppose a divorce has to happen. This fellow with the Saturn in the retrograde, I mean, after having seen the Navamsha, you have to confirm this. So somebody is, let us suppose someone thinks, I didn't like my wife. Okay. After about 5, 6 months of togetherness, someone dislikes his wife for some reason. Someone who has his planet retrograde, the seventh planet retrograde, then he would be bullish on it. He would think, I have to do it, right? The Navamsha first has to be there. You have to look at the Navamsha for separation. Don't think the seventh planet or planet placed in seventh house or seventh lord retrograde itself will give you divorce. No. Navamsha has to be checked. Most importantly, Rashi Tulya Navamsha. You cannot lose those rules. Okay.
Got it, sir.
Yeah. The magnitude of the result will be very high because the Cheshtabala is high. Because Ravi, the sun must have told the planet, look, this is the karma of the fellow, you have to punish him. And went back into the other side. Now Jupiter has got that result. And when Jupiter delivers a bad result with the bad Cheshtabala, with this Cheshtabala, let's suppose 60, it is going to give you a severe result. Right? A lot of people think Saturn will give you bad result or Mars will give you bad result. No, Jupiter is very curious to get very good name back with his father. So most times the severe things will happen due to Jupiter. Okay, I'm not against stereotyping and saying okay, Jupiter with retrogression will give you bad result. Please don't stereotype. Okay, it will depend a lot on your chart. Without looking at chart, blindly don't not seeing anything and jumping over one thing. I dislike such things. Okay. More questions with anyone?
One other follow-up question. Forgive me if I'm remembering this incorrectly, but in one of the earlier classes, I remember you mentioning that when a planet is Astangatva or Combust, the person may have some obsession. Is that true?
No, it's for obsession is for this one, retrogression.
Retrogression. Okay.
Yeah, he'll be very obsessed. So as I say, I have to leave this job, he's very obsessed with that. The chesta is very high.
Got it. Got it.
Or I have to leave my wife, he's very obsessed with that. Or my wife is very good, no matter whoever comes up and tells me your wife is bad, I will not believe it. My wife is very good. That is also chesta.
Got it. So essentially, Sun is saying that in the case of Ashtangatva, that particular aspect of your Prarabdha karma is so strong that it's not relying on the planet and delivering the results itself directly.
Perfect. That's the answer. Correct.
Okay.
So even if there is a bad karma that has to be delivered, the Prarabdha says, no, I will give you a good karma. See, I will give you examples. A lot of people keep complaining that my neighbor or my cousin or someone who's a bad fellow and he's not getting any bad results. I'm a very good person. I do all good and I am only punished. Right? The answer for that is this. the Astangatva of the planets, and the delivery is done by the sun, and sun is picking up good result from your past prarabdha, and it is giving you the good result out of it. You don't know why it is coming. With the Astangatva, the biggest problem is you will not be able to track or understand why a good result is being delivered or why a bad result is being delivered. In that case, what happens when most of your planets are in the Astangatva? I will say look at your fifth house and ninth house. Okay. As a quick thumb rule thing. Okay. But don't rely anything. Shalu Matai has a question.
Yes, sir. What happens like the planets like Mercury and Venus, they are sometimes simultaneously combust and retrograde.
Yes, yes. They are always like that.
So,
Then you
yeah.
have the aspect of the sun. So sun is actually delivering the result, and they are also bullish that they want to give some result. Both will be there.
So there will be a fight in delivering a
No,
result, we
both
can
will
say.
deliver results separately. They don't. None of the planets will fight with the sun,
Okay.
because combustion happens. And see, if the planets are together, if the two planets are together, what happens? Graha Yuddha happens, correct?
Yeah.
With sun, only Astangatva happens because sun is powerful than anyone, and no one will go and fight with the sun. They all give
Yes,
up in front of
yes.
sun.
Yeah. And so there is one more concept like if any planet is within the 1 degree of combustion, within the 1 degree apart from sun,
Yeah,
so it's that it gives more of a result because it gets the Hindi term is prakashit. The
hmm.
graha becomes prakashit. It gets the full energy of the sun, so it gives
Yeah,
much better results than the.
yeah. That's what I said at the start of the class. Some
Mhm,
people
mhm.
say it gets more prakashit. Some people will say it is completely combust. Okay, there are both schools of thought. I will not generalize any of them. I will rather apply the simpler rule, that is there a what can be the prarabdha? Okay, and look at the fifth house and the ninth house, and from there I will decide. I will still use my nakshatras. I will still use my generic principles, because the cheshtabala is very low when the astangatva happens. Like you see Mars. The Mars cheshtabala is
Yes, sir.
0.89. Okay, it's too low.
Yes.
Why? Because it's completely combust. So
Yeah.
if it wants to deliver a result, it cannot deliver a result because there is no power inside him.
Yeah.
But when the sun is delivering the result, it will add up the result of Mars, Mercury, Venus all together, and sun will give you the result.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. See, the schools of thoughts are little different from each other. We cannot
Yes, yes,
generalize, is
yes.
what I'm saying. Lagna is absolutely important. For example, if the Sun and the Jupiter are together, some people have said it as a very good combination. Jupiter becomes extremely prakashit and all that. Some people have
Yeah.
said, no, 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 Jupiter is extremely combust. Jupiter cannot give you any good results. I have seen people, Jupiter and Sun are like 27 degrees Jupiter, 26 degrees Sun. I know two people, same Rashi, everything is there.
Yeah.
The Lagna is different. Their lives are completely different. Okay, born on the same day.
Okay.
The Lagnas
Okay.
are different, that's
Okay.
all. The Dasha is the same,
Okay.
but they have completely different
Yeah.
lives for the same
So
Dasha.
the Lagna is giving total different.
Absolutely, Lagna is
मतलब
absolutely
है ना
important.
हाँ yeah Lagna is absolutely important. Yeah.
90% of the result Lagna will give you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
More important than that, the karma, the past karma of both the people are different. So they are getting different results.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. In case of retrogression, the prediction becomes a lot easier. In case of Astangatva, the prediction becomes a lot difficult. You can check.
Okay.
Okay. If you examine more horoscopes, if most planets are, I mean, if you see charts, if most of the planets are just there in the 12th house and the second house from the sun, they will have the least chaste bala, right? Because they're very close to sun. Let's suppose all
Yes.
the 8 planets are like that, because one planet is out anyway, the Ketu is out, right? So you have the least chaste bala, right? There is also one more concept, like Deepan Shugri also will keep emphasizing on this. I agree with that thing, where Mercury Rahu or Sun Rahu, because Rahu is a retrograde planet, that will increase the chaste bala of the planet. So if Sun is along with the Rahu, the chaste bala of the Sun increases. Mercury is with the Rahu, the chaste bala of the Mercury increases. We are not actually adding up the Chaya Grahas here, but they have to be added up. So that's why I'm saying don't go by these numbers. If you go by the numbers, there will be a problem. Instead, look at it from the chart and see, okay, I'm not going by the number. Let me just see where the Sun is, where the Jupiter is. Okay, they are exactly in the mutual sevenths. So then you have higher Cheshta Bala. This is already there. You don't have to go to the number. Why go to the absolute
Yeah,
number?
yeah.
Okay. It is only because the software is there, they have calculated this number exactly. Okay. Had the software been not there, then you would definitely think, okay, this is enough for me. I have the Sun exactly opposite to Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Hmm.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, what is the time frame that we should consider this retrogression of planets in the birth chart? Because should we see only on the day, or if the planet is going to retrograde within 3 days or within 1 month? Is there any particular time frame?
Good question. Good question. So when the planet is going to go into retrograde in the next few days, there will be stationary thing. Okay. So the planet will remain stationary for some time. Okay. Then gets into retrograde. You know why? And that will give you a different result. Okay. So let's suppose you are going by a car, and there is a cycle fellow. Okay. When you're in the first gear, you operate the first gear. Along with the cycle is moving, let us suppose, at 10 kmph. You are also on the 10 kmph. So the cycle fellow and you are on the same speed. So he will appear as if he's not moving at all. He's stationary, right? So that is how the stationary thing happens. Whenever the planet comes out of retrogression, it gets into stationary. Whenever the planet gets into retrogression, then also it becomes stationary. It is different for different planets. You can check here the speed of the planets in the basics. You can see here on the right, latitude, speeds, and coordinates. Okay. So here, right, 0 minus 0.135. When this planet is about to begin the retrogression, you will see that this will drop to 0, 0, 0, 0. All zeros will be there. It means that planet is stationary. Okay.
Okay, sir.
They will also give you results. That's the next level of it. I will definitely come there. There is also Atichara. There is also stationary, that is Sthambi. Sthambi is called as stationary. Atichara is someone who is even moving much faster than what he has to be. This happens usually for Mars. Mars will go into Atichara mostly. Recently, Jupiter went into Atichara. Okay. Atichara is nothing but making up for the loss that he has made on the speed. So he will appear as if he is traveling even more faster. Okay. We will come there one day. But for now, I think for the basic things, because we are using nakshatras and very, very less of the planets, this information will be enough for you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. In the first level. The second level, yes, we will definitely try to put more emphasis on all these concepts. Okay. So the other way to check here is to check the latitudes, the speeds. Okay. Wherever you have a negative speed, it is a retrograde planet. Wherever and you need to know the standard speeds of the planets, like the sun goes for 1 degree every day, moon goes between 10 to 14 and a half. You need to know all these speeds. Then you know when it is in Atichara or the when it is in a slower pace or when it is in stationary, etc. Sthambi, all that you will know.
Okay, sir. Got it.
So in terms of interpreting the results, like in the nakshatras, we use the dispositor 60%, 30%, cusp,
Yeah.
and so on. So if so let's say house dispositor is combust or retrograde versus the lord is combust or retrograde. So the same percentages continue, like it the like
Yes, it will be. But if it is retrograde, add more result of it.
got it.
Okay. If it is combust, sun will be beside it. Add the nakshatra of the sun also.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sir, for retrograde planets, what would be the, in a generic sense, aspects of the retrograde planets?
Nothing, it's the same. Just the
Jupiter
same.
is retrograde,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, it's just the same.
Like it is more intensified or something
No,
like that.
the
Or,
intensity comes only when the dasha is operative or when the result has to come. The result comes mostly in the dasha. So when the dasha is operative, then the intensity increases. Use variation dashas, then you will know much better. Let's suppose you're timing the disease or something, use the variation and use the navamsha. Okay, I will teach such things as we move forward. It'll be a lot easier when you use the variation dasha. You will know that the results are coming. You don't have to do anything. Just read BPHS and use the variation result and use the navamsha. The results are just like that. They are flowing.
okay, sir. One more query. As you said in the introduction in today's class and in yesterday's other Telugu class also, since there is retrograde motion of the planets is not constant, they keep changing. So again they'll go to direct motion also.
Correct.
So while analyzing the results of a retrograde planet, do we need to see the current transit? I know you don't apply transits, but when analyzing the effect of current dasha result, do we need to take the consideration whether this particular planet is in retro now or in forward motion?
No, it's very simple. When the planet is in the 5th house and retrograde, it means that it's just started retrograding. 9th house and retrograde, it is out of retrogression just now. Right? In the 7th house, it's in the peak retrogression. Why do you even bother to see whether the speed is there or not? It's very easy. Only in case of internal planets, the Venus and the Mercury, when you have a retrogression or when you have a combustion, you want to see. Anyway, Mercury and Venus are always controlled by the sun. They are with the sun. They will definitely have the influence of sun. And when you have these planets, the Mercury and the sun in different houses, that itself will say that yes, Venus has a different say. It is not dependent on the sun. You get me?
Okay, yeah, got it, sir.
Okay. So even if you don't have the Cheshtabala in front of you, etc., just use simple things. When it is in the 7th house, peak of retrogression. 6th house, it is going into peak of retrogression. 8th house, it just came out of peak retrogression, but still it is very retrograde. Okay, you can just use 7th house. Let me keep 60 points. Let me keep 40 here and 40 here in the 8th and the 6th houses. And then in the 5th and the 9th houses, I'll keep only 20. All right.
And sir, whether this retrogression of papagrahas, the malefic planets, does that increase the maleficness or
the maleficence or the beneficence that's why I said it depends on the chart, right? It depends on the chart. There is no standard rule. No planet will give you complete good result. No planet will give you complete bad result. It will give you both the results.
like it will be like functional malefic or functional benefic based on the chart position?
That is one thing. Second is based on the dasha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Makes sense.
Okay. See, a lot of people keep thinking that this planet is not beneficial for me. I will only ask one simple logical question. You will see a lot of people who have got a good result and a bad result in the same year. Somebody's father died. He got a promotion in the office. Okay, this will happen, right? Because father's death is a bad result for you, right? Promotion is a good result for you. That is how you're looking at things, correct? Right? So it can happen in the same dasha, same bhukti, okay, same MD, same AD, but still you will get these results. So I will never say that one planet is good, the other planet is bad. That's why the remedies have to be done based on the nakshatras. They are going to yield much better results. So if a particular nakshatra is troubling you, it is better to address that or that particular thing, and rather than going behind the planet.
Yes, sir.
So, right now, for people who are running Jupiter Mahadasha, I'm taking that example because Jupiter is currently the peak retrograde.
Okay.
The, if that is the Dasha Lord in the Vimshottari, are the results more intense within the nakshatra theme because the Dasha Lord is currently retrograde?
This can actually, I will say, instead of that, just use the basic mundane thing where you have the moon, let's suppose, in the Pisces, and you have a retrograde Jupiter. You're very bullish right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they may still work for to some extent. Rather than thinking you are running a Jupiter dasha and right now Jupiter is retrograde, to some extent, I will say yes. What you said is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
See, yeah, Ustad, you've been missing for quite long.
Hello. Actually, I wanted to share my example of my own chart. Actually, I
Acha.
have my Lagna Lord retrograde in my Shatabhisha Nakshatra, second house.
Okay.
So I'm very odd in regards to cooking food. Whenever I make anything, I have to have those proportions in very, I mean, specific manner. I'm very uh, specific. Like even if I'll make tea, I have my containers totally different whenever I go cooking around. So that is one thing which I obsess about. I was, and another thing I obsess is about money. If I'm buying anything, I have to pay the right amount, no matter what I'm buying. I don't know how it has got into my mind, but somehow I can't pay extra. I can't pay less. It has to be the exact amount. So
Okay.
that is also true. So these two things are there. And one more thing which I got to know when I got operated, like I am in Uttarashada ascendant, so my teeth got broken. So when I was operated on, so what the doctors told me was my bones were softer and the tissues were harder. So it was opposite, which is in general in my mouth. So that is also second house thing, I think so. And in my driving also, I'm like that. I am very slow driver. It's Saturn maybe because of that. So in driving also, I will just keep looking on the both sides of the
Driving, usually
mirror
people
and
attribute it to third house because it's a skill acquired
yes,
using the hands.
but it's second from second, so I think maybe it also affects there also. So
It will
driving
largely
also, I'm
depend on the
very
Jupiter.
hmm. Jupiter is with Rahu, so it also has retro effect, as you said, chase double thing. So
Hmm.
yes, and since it's Lagna Lord dispositor also, so most of my life doesn't really make any sense. Although I might try to be very specific and all, make all the right choices, good decision and all that. But I don't think anything makes sense. And because of me being too specific about things, nothing makes sense. Although it gives me very odd results, like very good also, very bad also, which that is very true.
Hmm.
Especially in second house cases like family, finance, food, and
Hmm.
my that
How
dental
far is
problem
the
I
sun?
told.
Where is the sun?
Sun is in seventh house. It's
Okay, so
eight houses away.
it's good retrogression. Okay, so 8 houses
Hmm.
away from the sun. Still a good retrogression.
And even in my speech also, like I in my college years, in my school years, I like to make people feel like they are inferior to me or something. That is in Uttarashada triad. Although after learning from you, I have understood that I just don't like people bullying around me or making me feel inferior. I would rather have them feel inferior. So what I would do is use very meticulous speech, very hard words, very words which they will not understand. I'll make sure I'd go around reading the dictionary, and in the presentation thing which you mentioned, I was exactly like that. No matter who is making the project in my college or in my school, I would go and make sure that the even teacher doesn't understand that. So he has to give us the marks. And every time it used to happen, I used to get more point. Most of the time, 9 or 10 point. And the guy who did the real work never used to get that much marks. So that is also a thing. That is an Uttara Ashada thing, I think more so. But this retro also adds a flavor.
Hmm.
All and you taught this earlier that it has to give the result of the sun. So I got it when I asked it earlier in some of the lecture. But today was very good, especially the examples which you mentioned, that when the planet is nearer to the Earth and the light reflection thing which you explained, that it will reflect back.
Yeah.
It was very good. It was very, I mean, mesmerizing.
Hmm. Glad that you like.
Rest, I don't think. Yes, I really like, because it resonates to me very much. And because it's Lagna Lord disposite everything. And right now I'm in Jupiter Dasha, I think so. Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
there is this.
I've been missing from these.
Okay,
Hmm.
done.
Yeah, I'm done. I don't have any questions today.
Okay, good.